Hello friends, welcome back. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the types of the triaxial test. In the present lecture, we let us discuss about the unconfined compression test. Unconfined compression test. So here you can understand the name unconfined. So what is the difference? Unconfined, that means confined pressure is not there. That means we can say that it is a special case of triaxial test. Special case of triaxial test. That means if we are not applying any confining pressure, that means we are applying only the deviator stress. So that's why it is called the unconfined compression test. And the next question is that I can say this is laterally unconfined. So first of all, tell me, without any lateral support, can any soil can be withstand by itself? If I talk about the sandy soil, can it withstand like that? That means if you're talking about the sandy soils or if you're talking about the dry soils, they cannot held in positions. That means sandy and dry soils cannot withstand themselves, isn't it? But the soil, what are the soil that can withstand itself? Those are nothing but a saturated clays and cells. So that's why this experiment is applicable. This experiment is only applicable for saturated clays and silts. Saturated clays and silts. In childhood, we could have constructed some house with mud that we used to play in the. So if you remember, if it is a clay soil, then that can it stand itself without any lateral support. Even if you are playing in beaches, did you observe? You cannot construct vertically. We cannot play or we cannot construct anything with the sand vertically. We might have constructed inclinedly, if you recall that. But why? Because the soil cannot withstand themselves. But if you are talking about the clay soils, the soil can withstand itself in a vertical position. That's why we can conduct only for the sand, saturated clays and soil samples. So that means in this case, what I can say, my confining stress will be equal to 0. That implies what about my minor stress? Minor stress will be equal to 0. Then what about the failure plane equation? Sigma 1 equal, if I recall that, sigma 3 into tan square of 45 plus 5 by 2 plus 2c tan of 45 plus 5 by 2. If I am talking about the clay soil, what about my phi value? 0. And as there is no confinement, we can say that your minus stress is equal to 0. Then what about your sigma 1? Sigma 1 is nothing but a deviator stress. So if I substitute sigma 1 equals sigma d, this entire term goes to 0. If phi equal to 0, tan 45 is equal to 1. So sigma d is nothing but a 2 into c. Sigma d is nothing but a unconfined compression. That means whatever the compression stress we are applying, let us assume that that magnitude is QU. QU is nothing but a 2C. That implies what is the cohesion of the soil? That is nothing but a QU by 2. Then what about the shear strength? Shear strength is nothing but a C plus sigma tan phi. What about the tan phi? 0. That implies your shear strength is equal to the cohesion. That implies what is the shear strength of the soil? That is nothing but a QU divided by 2. So if we are conducting an unconfined compression test, this test is only applicable for the saturated clays and silts. Then the shear strength is equal to the compression stress divided by 2. Otherwise, if they are given the compression stress, then based on that we can determine the cohesion of the soil also. And if I draw the Mohr circle for this, as sigma 3 is equal to 0, here it will be sigma 3 equal to 0, and here it will be nothing but a sigma 1. And what about the radius? And radius is nothing but a q, isn't it? Q by. And this is what nothing but your a Mohr circle representation for the unconfined compression test. In the next lecture, we will discuss about the wind shear test. Thank you.